This segment of CoastLife is sponsored by the Parker Group.
Well, CoastLife last week, when we were chatting with our friends from the Parker Group, we were, trying to get you interested in the world of real estate as an agent. And if that sounded last time like this would be the job for you, but you still have some more questions, maybe you're not exactly sure what the day-to-day looks like, well, that's why we've got Julie Ward joining us with the Parker Group. And Julie, what does sort of the typical day for a real estate agent look like with you guys at the Parker Group?
Every day looks a little bit different. I will share that. So if you're one of those people who doesn't necessarily want to sit behind a desk, it's a great opportunity to get out in the world, get to know people, interact. You certainly don't necessarily have to be the over-the-top personality and be that really outgoing person. We have plenty of different personalities that serve our community because you're serving all different types of clients as well.
Exactly.
So a typical day, you're going to be outbound prospecting. So you do have to be able to get up and over that hump of calling people and talking to people and getting out in your community. But then about the second half of your day is usually going to be at inspections or doing negotiations, working with other agents to make sure that buyers can buy and sellers can sell and everybody's happy at the end of the day. I think one of the most rewarding parts of the job, though, is that you're really helping people through an entire journey, and you get to experience that journey at all different times of people's lives. I'll give an example. I've been working with clients for 3 years.
Wow.
And we went under contract on a home about a year ago, and it just ended up not being the right fit for them due to condition. And now we are fortunately under contract on something else. We beat out like 12 other offers on it. And we ended up doing that at a Sunday night at 9
Oh
p.m.
my God.
So every day is going to look a little bit different, but it's certainly the most fulfilling opportunity that you can have.
I can only imagine that, especially if it's a client that you've had for 3 years, that you've been walking them through this journey. You've probably played the role of real estate agent, therapist, shoulder to cry on, all of those things during this process. And so to finally have that moment, but they also know that, you're not just trying to sell something quick and get out of there. You're with them for the long haul to make sure that it's the right fit. And I feel like that's such a key piece of what you guys at the Parker Group do, what you stand for, but also the fact that, as a real estate agent, it feels like it would be a very individualized job that you're kind of working by yourself on your own time, but you guys do work as a team.
Yeah, so that's a great point because a lot of this is stepping into the unknown for somebody. And this is at any level of your career. This could be somebody who's brand new. We've got 19-year-olds that work for us and people who enter the world because they're retired and they don't necessarily want to be retired. They're looking for something else to do and to apply their skill sets. We've got people who have worked in attorneys' offices, people, like I said, fresh out of high school, people who came from teaching careers. A lot of that are their soft skills that are transferable across the board. And we sit down with you and train you to make sure that you're using those soft skills appropriately in today's real estate market. And as a team, we're always available to pick up the phone. I think just before this, I was sitting there sending off a message to somebody so that way they can hopefully win a contract here this morning. And making sure that they all feel that support. We also have transaction coordinators that help work with you. So that's when you're in the field and you can't answer that phone call. We want to make sure that that person is still receiving the top tier level of service. And in this market, you have to be able to answer the phone quickly. So our transaction coordinators are there in the office to make sure that all of that gets answered for you.
That's awesome.
Additionally, you've got your broker support to make sure that they answer any contract related questions because you're not expected to know it all, especially at first. And every contract's going to look a little bit different. So you want to be sure that you are putting your heads together with people who study this on a day-to-day basis because it's your job to be out in the field prospecting. It's your job to be out there negotiating with clients and with other agents, not necessarily to be staring at the law books and making sure that we're doing everything according to the contract law.
Yeah, and I mean, I know for our field, there's so much learning that's done on the job, in the field, and then you're like, oh, now I have a much better idea how to do that, which I didn't know how to do 10 minutes ago. But I think that having that constant connection with the team, with each other, and not just that constant connection to the people that might have the answers for you, but also the constant education that you guys have for your real estate agents is huge.
Right, so that's every Tuesday we have training in office, in person, and we do everything from PowerPoint style trainings where some people learn really well visually, all the way through this most recent week we were actually doing a letter writing campaign to past clients, to perhaps communities where we have a lot of buyers that are searching but just haven't quite found the right home. And so that letter writing campaign opened up our agents' eyes to a very new prospecting technique that perhaps they hadn't tried before. And so we will sit down as a company and make sure that we're coming up with ideas that are also sparking interest for our agents and hopefully getting that creativity moving.
Fantastic. So if somebody is ready, they're thinking, real estate might just be the perfect fit for me. I'm ready to not just dip the toe, but completely jump in. Where can they find applications and the best way to get a hold of you guys if they have further questions?
Right. So on our website, you can find a link to our Join Our Team page, and you can book a direct booking with me. So that way you can sit down and have a conversation and really get to know rather than having to make an application. But if you are interested, on our Facebook, we just posted for our Cosmic Agent position, which is our full-time W-2 salaried agent position for those who are ready to jump in feet first. We're really excited to bring somebody else on board.
Fantastic. And if you do just want to have that little conversation, that little chat with Julie, she's super sweet. She doesn't bite. You're going to be in good hands. So Julie, thank you so much for coming in today and what you guys do at the Parker Group, for the community as a whole.
We appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
We appreciate you. We do some more Coast Life to get to. We've got our winners of the week when we get back.